Hello there my lovely jewelry makers, I'm Christina of CSLdesigns, and in today's video we're going to be unboxing another dollar bead box. And just FYI, I have already opened this because I have recorded this part before but the files got corrupted, so I'm basically having to re-record it. But I'm going to go through it again just to see if I'm kind of going through it the first time. So that also means that the tape is already breached, but I'm just going to get straight into it then. So as usual, we have the bag first, which I'm just going to have a look at before I look at the box. We've got the paper, keep that handy, that tells you what's in it, and then obviously the strands here. So I'm just going to organize these into the sizes, and then we can just have a closer look at them here. So what we have is we have 3mm strands and 4mm strands. First of all, I've got the 3mm strands here. The first one is olive, so that's got to be this lovely olive green color. It's a very nice one, very natural green. Then we have matte tangerine, and I'm guessing that's got to be this one here. So it's got that matteness to it. It's still quite a bright color, but it's definitely matte, which is lovely. They're all faceted. Then light peridot, which has got to be this one. So it's very light greenish, a blue hint as well, and it's not completely opaque, it's a bit of clearness to it as well. And the last one is matte opaque light green AB. So this is, it's kind of very blue green, but it's got that partly AB coating to it, so you can see a lot of the color, but then you just get those occasional lovely sparkles of different colors. It's really nice. And then as for the 4mm strands, we have opaque light green. So it's got to be this one here. And just looking at the 3mm one, they definitely could go together. So you just got the 3mm one has got that slight AB coating, whereas the 4mm one hasn't, but it still has sparkle because they're faceted. So they would definitely go together lovely in two different sizes there. Then matte medium sapphire. Where are we? It's got to be surely this one here, a lovely sapphire color. This is also matte. I do really like my matte beads. They just have a different feel to them than the sparkly ones. Obviously I like my sparkle as well, but lovely color. And then light aqua half copper, it's got to be this one. So from a lot of these boxes I have gotten those half coated metallic beads, and I do really like them. There's something very special about them because you do have the basic color, in this case the light aqua, which has also got clearness to it, but then this one is in half coated in the copper. I really do love it. It's a lovely combination. I think this might be the first time I've seen it in the copper. Previously it's been silver mainly. That's really beautiful. I definitely like that a lot. And then the final one is teal. The paper went flying, and that's got to be this one, very tealy, and it's got some clearness to it and a nice sparkle because of the faceting as well. Very lovely colors. Overall, when you're looking at these, I get very strong kind of sea breeze feel to them. So obviously all them different blues, very sea bluey colors, and then the greens and yellows in there as well. It's definitely very summery and very sea breeze, like that's definitely the feel that I'm getting. But those are the beads, the strands in the bag. And then let's dig straight into the box as well. We're going to have a look what's in there. So of course the paper, get the usual intro bit, and then obviously the list of everything that's in it, so all the contents. Keep that handy while I then just remove the tissue, get the box out of the way, and then just take all this out. Get rid of this noisy tissue. Right, so I'm just going to do the usual of separating them, the strands and the items here, the bags, from each other. And then we can go through them because they're also separate like that on the paper. So I'm just going to get all these out of the way and just focus on the strands first of all. And honestly, my very initial thoughts are very similar to the overall with some of the bag items as well. The bag that I just went through, quite sea breeze like in all these colors and that. So let's just zoom in a little bit, get these organized. We can have a little bit of a closer look. So first of all, what we have is some 4mm rounds, some check glass Druck ones, and they're opaque red Vega luster. 35 pieces on the strand. That's got to be this one. It's the only red one, really, of course. And you get that Vega luster finish. It's definitely very different than just say, it's not your typical AB coating or anything, but you definitely get a plain, not just a basic red colour. So that's lovely. Nice rounds as well. 4mm is brilliant size. I use that a lot. Then it's 1x2mm Chinese crystal rondelles, opaque turquoise. So it's got to be these ones. And you get approximately 120 pieces, so that's quite a lot. Obviously it helps there's that many because they're very small. So they're definitely very tiny beads. Beautiful base colour, but just look at the sparkle. Even though they're so small, you still get, if I can just get it to focus here, quite a lot of sparkle and impact from them because they're obviously faceted, which I've always found it amazing they can facet beads this small, but they're pretty nice. Again, that sea breeze theme, I think, of the colour. Then we have some 6mm rounds, also a lovely size. Again, check glass Druck, and they're Alexandrite. So it's these ones here, the largest ones. That lovely Alexandrite colour, that's definitely a beautiful, very elegant colour, I think. Very light and delicate blue, and kind of clear to it, so it's not opaque. Very nice beads, and will go with pretty much any of the other ones as well so far. And then we have some 4mm check glass pearls, white ones. So beautiful little pearlescent beads. 50 pieces on that. And then 2mm, again really tiny ones, check glass pearl, and these are mint tea. So obviously there's got to be these ones here. Quite a small strand, but they're also very small beads. It's definitely a mint tea colour, that's for sure. Very good description of the colour. And again, tiny beads, always useful. I love my tiny beads. And again, that sea breeze theme. So those are the strands here. Then, well, now we looked at them, what we then have are all the additional items. So I'm just going to get these out of the way, and then we can start looking at them. So let's start from the top, and then I'm going to see about what's there and then identify it and then have a look at it. So first of all, we have size 8 seed beads by the looks of it, check glass ones, and the aqua silver lined. You get 5 grams, so that's pretty decent. So we have them here. So definitely aqua silver lined, a lovely blue colour. Again, that blue sea breeze theme, kind of running through a lot of it. And I'm not going to get them out because quite a few and they're probably going to go all over the place, but it's just kind of your size 8 seed beads, which size 8 is the size I use the most as well from seed beads. So that's the first ones. Then we have natural coin pearl in white, and it's 14 by 16mm. You get one of them. So it's got to be this one. So a nice coin pearl. So just get that out. And then let's have a look at it. So quite natural, obviously, because it's a pearl, but you do have that coin shape. So kind of flat coin. And then the hole, let's have a little look, it's there. You can see that quite small, which is usual for pearls. So you can get just a bit through there. Not too much, probably only a small gauge wire or thin thread. But a nice coin pearl. Then agate ammonite shape, and it's pink. You get one of them. It's pretty sizable, 23 by 25mm, and that's this one. Very interesting. So it's an agate gemstone that's then been carved into an ammonite shape, and I wouldn't say it's what you would class as pink, but it has got pinkness to it. And then the back is flat. So you could use that for a lot. You can add, if you want to just glue it onto something, or you could capture it in some way using wire work or any medium really. That's pretty nice. I do like, obviously I like my gemstones and agate, but I do also like them kind of ammonite shapes. Next on the list we have, I think we got to this one, Chinese star cut crystals, full coat silver, so that's gotta mean silver ones, 10 pieces, and they're 4 by 5mm. So it's got to surely be these ones. They look very sparkly. I'm going to get a few out because Chinese star cut crystals. And have a little look. Just try and keep it just at a few. See if I can get it to zoom in. Seems a bit of an unusual shape. So at first glance it kind of looks like a bicone, a regular bicone, but when you're looking closely, actually it isn't. So that's where the hole is. If I can try and kind of get it. It's almost a bit like a bicone, but some of the sides are cut off, you could say. And then that's where the hole has been put through. It's a little bit hard to describe and a little bit hard to maybe show properly, but very shiny, that's for sure. See if I can get them back in without losing any. Small beads. So those are silver, full cut silver. Next we have what appears to be similar, but then in black, and the size is slightly different. So it's 5 by 7 millimeter this time, and that says you get 10 of the silver and 6 of the jet. I'll have a look here, get some of these out just to confirm. Yeah, they definitely seem bigger, so it does seem like it's the same shape and the same kind of cut to them. You can maybe get that impression a little bit better with them being a bit bigger. And you can see the hole going through that flat side. It's a very unusual shape, that's for sure, and again very shiny without faceting. So that is interesting. Then after that we got to here Swarovski pendulum. So rose water opal. Now I do think this caught my eye as I brought all the pieces out. I was a little bit confused because obviously Swarovski, but then pendulum is, I'm guessing that referred to the shape. So at first glance they're kind of just a rectangle, kind of angled rectangle, and faceted as well, but I think what makes it a pendulum is where the hole is, because the hole is more on one end of it. If I can kind of catch it there, instead of being, say, in the middle or something, or the long way. But it's a really nice colour, that I do love that. It's nice colour and nice coating, that's for sure. That opal sense to it, and then obviously rose. Definitely the colour description is very fitting. They're very beautiful beads, that. No matter how to use them though, because obviously where the hole is a bit unusual. Anyway, next we have pewter bead caps, and the antique brass plated. So we have some bead caps there as well, and it should be 4 pieces, and they're 8 millimeter. So just looking at them. So it's basically a little flower, well not flower rather, leaf design that you get. A nice little feature for adding to your beads. Just put them back in as well safely. So all the small stuff always has a tendency to run away, I find sometimes. Anyway, where are we? That was the bead caps. Then next we have half round sterling silver plated pendant. You get 1. And 60 millimeters, so fairly large, and it's actually sterling silver plated. So obviously the base is something else, but then it's plated in the sterling silver, and it's then a pendant, so it has this little loop. So it's basically already ready to kind of just use if you want to, and it has these little kind of circular indentations into it as a design. Now the back is hollow like this. So obviously it would kind of hang like that, and that'd be the feature. Next then, we have check glass druck and the crystal. 100 pieces of those, quite a lot, so it's got to be something small. 3 millimeter, yep. So we have them here. Again, I don't think I'll get these out because they'll just go everywhere. But I can just kind of get it to focus on them. So just some nice small beads, always useful. And crystal is always useful because it literally goes with everything. Then Chinese writing stone focal bead, 1, and it's quite large, 24 by 26 millimeter. Quite a large bead there, and definitely a feature bead, I would say. Looks like this, and I'm guessing the Chinese writing refers to kind of the patterning on the stone. It's very graphic, you could say. And it's kind of like, the shape is almost a bit like an elongated oval, but then it has like a bit of a twist to it, if you can kind of see it from the side. So that's also interesting. Then next we have, see, your mum's going off screen, I can tell, make sure get it all in, or could be Chinese writing. Chinese glass laser etched round star pattern. You get 2 and they're 10mm. 10mm is a fairly decent size as well. It's kind of on the larger side, but not too large. Just get them out. Now the description, Chinese glass laser etched round. So it's rounds, but then lasered the pattern into them. And you get that star pattern straight away. So the base bead, the colour is kind of like a metallic rainbow a little bit. Some different tones in there. And then you have that star design lasered into it. They're definitely very interesting and very unusual. You definitely want to try and use them, I think, anyway, in some way the kind of pattern stands out and you notice it, because that's definitely the feature. So those were them beads there. What do we then have? Check fire polish, jet hematite with travertine, 2 pieces and 12, so they're just a step larger, 12mm ones. Again, getting gradually larger here. So the larger, I would say, the more and more impact they kind of have as well. So there's definitely that jet hematite feel to them. The look, very natural looking, and you got some large faceting there as well, so they reflect lovely off of the light. And hole wise, looks like that. So a decent size hole, not huge but not small either. And get something through there. Almost getting to the end now. Got a few left. We then have check glass hat, matte black AB, and 10 pieces and the 8mm. Now these ones I did see before as well, and they kind of caught my eye. Probably that AB that always tends to catch my eye, but that is, just try and get a few out more than I wanted, but ayo. We have the little heart-shaped beads, and the base is black or jet, and then it seems like on one side of them they have this AB coating, which is obviously very eye-catching. I do love my AB coating. So they look like that, and the hole goes from the cleft of the hat, so that little cleft there, down to the point. Can try and catch that. Maybe. Whoops. Where are we? There we go. You can kind of see the hole, and it seems like, again, a pretty decent sized hole. So not too small, but not too large, obviously, because they are flat as well, so you can only have such a large hole in it. Then, I think the final one, yep, we have is an 18mm checker glass laser etched button, matte red. And you get one. So it's a glass button that then has been laser etched with the pattern then. It looks like this. That is a really cute pattern, that. So obviously the base is, well, it's red, but it's kind of like a coral red, I would say. So not kind of a bright lipstick red like you think normally of a red. And it's matte, and that edge is slightly metallic and rainbowy as well. And you got that kind of ammonite feel to it as well, just like the stone earlier. And then the button, so it's one piece here. You then have that shank with the hole in the back. A decent size loop in it, hole. Not huge compared to some, but you can still get decent through there, even some decent cord, size cord I would say. So that is very interesting, unusual. I've never had a glass bead before, I'm pretty sure. Normally I mainly use metal beads. Oh sorry, buttons, not beads. Right, so that was the last one. So that's everything that's in the bag and the box. So I'll definitely say, looking at it overall, there is that kind of sea breeze theme to it, I think. Obviously a lot of the strands and some of the beads here as well. But even the other themes, like you got that ammonite, and obviously kind of ammonite shape on the button. So I definitely think that's an overall observation that kind of fits pretty well. And it's also very fitting considering it is summer right now. So what I'm going to do is obviously, like usual, go away and have a little look at these things and try and play around with them, which is going to be great so I can turn off this camera and these lights, because we do have a heat wave right now, which is pretty horrible because we're not used to it. And it is warm, so I'm wearing makeup as well. I can't wait to get all this off, turn my fans back on, and then sit and play with this. So I'll be back once I've made some pieces. So now I took some time and made a couple of things, and obviously I'm just going to share them with you. The first things that I chose to use were some of the rounds here. So it was these colours, because I got an idea that I'm still doing my wire crochet. I'm working on a couple other things kind of behind the scenes as well. But I chose these because I thought they all work well together. Those blues, even though they're different tones, I thought they worked pretty well together. And then obviously those kind of pearl style ones, they pretty much work with anything anyway. And this kind of gave me that sea feel, sea breeze with the colours. Now what I ended up making was, like I said, wire crochet, but I ended up making chewed wire crochet. It looks like this. And then I put the beads inside. So it's not super obvious, but what you do get is like a hint of that blue. And I just mixed the different colours inside, so it kind of goes between the different tones of blue and then also the pearl. Now I did use a 0.4 for this because it's what I had at the time I was making this. But if I say were to use a 0.3 mil wire gauge, then I would assume it would make the beads a bit more obvious, because I think it would not be quite as dense in the crochet. But obviously that's something I've got to try out. But this is what it looks like for now. I'm pretty happy with that. A nice little bracelet. And I did end up actually kind of making a set with this, because I used, I would say, most overall of all these beads. So obviously there's a few left of each colour. But it's because I also made a necklace to match. So basically the exact same, but just a much longer version, as you can see here. And then the ends are finished off just with little loops there. And obviously a clasp. So basically a set, and you just get a hint of that blue inside. And like I said, it will probably be even more so with the 0.3 mil gauge wire rather than 0.4 that I used here. But that's yet to be tried out. So a chewed wire crochet with these beads. Next, what I picked out were the Swarovski beads. So these ones here, because I felt like I just kind of had to try and use them. Now my initial thought was to try and make a pair of earrings with them somehow, with a bit of like an organic design of some sort. So you can see, remember that really, it's got just a really beautiful, seems like internal glow to it, the bead. I just really like how the colour is, but then along with that kind of glow from within. But what I ended up doing was just using one of the beads, because once I made it, I kind of felt it worked really well as a pendant. So I kind of just played around with wire. I took one of the beads and some wire, and I ended up with this. That then ended up as a pendant. So kind of captured the bead there in the middle, floating almost a bit. It's almost got a little bit of a butterfly feel to it, but that wasn't really on purpose. Like I said, I just kind of played around with the wire, and then just attached some chain at the top. And it then hangs and dangles nicely as a pendant. So I thought instead of making a pair of earrings, I would just leave it as a pendant. So something quite different and a bit out of my comfort zone, because this is more organic. I usually do more symmetrical things and non-organic things, but I do want to try and push myself a little bit. So this was just what I ended up with. So like I said, just using one of the beads. I've still got the one left. So this is what I ended up making. So just a couple of things, but especially this wire crochet did take a long time, especially obviously the necklace, because it's quite a lengthy need to make, and obviously it's pretty fine work. And this also took surprisingly long time, just because I was kind of making it as I went. I didn't have much of a plan, so it kind of took me a while to kind of create it and end up with this, because like I said, it was pretty organic. But I really hope you like them. Do let me know if you do. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed watching this video here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.